Hello, guys. Good evening. How is everyone? Hello, Bruce. How you doing, man? Hope everything okay. Hello, guys from Ireland. Hello, guys from Brazil. Hello, guys from America. Guys from Kardec Radio. It's nice to have you all here, guys. Just to make sure, guys, can anyone say to me if my sound is working fine, please? Just to make sure that it's working. Let me do a test here. Okay. Hello, guys. So nice to have you all here, guys. Let me give you a few minutes before we start. People, they are coming. See here. Stevan, he won't be able to do it today, guys, at least until 7:30. After that, he may come here to be with us. Normally, he's here, but today he has a meeting. So probably he will be here in a few minutes. Okay, so see. Okay, so hi guys. Okay, okay guys. So today we're gonna be talking about the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 10, item 16 until 21, if I'm not mistaken. Today we're gonna be talking basically about indulgence. Okay, so that's gonna be the main topic of the day of tonight. Okay, so okay, guys. So let's do our initial prayer, guys. So for those who feel comfortable, I'd like to invite you to close our eyes, to take a deep breath. We'd like to thank God for our lives. We'd like to thank the good spirits for the presence and for the support which has been given to the Spirit Society of Ireland for over 10 years here in Ireland. Thank you, good spirits, who are supporting all the workers in this difficult time. All the workers who are fighting against COVID, and all the workers also who are spreading Spiritism or any good news which is able to make the other's life a bit easier, to calm their troubles, and also to bring to them hope and help to keep going in this difficult time. We know that things are getting easier regarding to the coronavirus, but let's not forget that we should keep trying to protect ourselves with masks, social distance, and so on. So let's be conscious about our part in this situation, and let's do our best to keep improving it. Would like to invite everyone and the good spirits to participate here tonight. Thank God, and so be it. Okay, we have Patrocinio here. Hi, Patrocinio. Good evening, man. Nice to have you here. Okay, guys. So, as I said, Stevan won't be here with us at least for the next 30 minutes. So, here today, we're going to be talking about indulgence. Okay? And here in the Gospel according to Spiritism, the spirits, they try to help us to understand this word, this meaning, which is so powerful to us, okay? But they say to us that basically indulgence is not to be seen the effect of the others. Yes, even if the others, they are making things that we do not agree, they are taking actions. The spirits are saying to us that we shouldn't be looking at their actions, even if they are wrong, and be judging them. Of course, we can Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? We had a problem here with the sound. I just realized that now. Apologies, guys. A technical thing just came here. So here, guys. Sorry, dears. That's why I asked guys if you guys could hear me. I just could see here now on the computer now that my mic was off. So I was talking to myself only. Oh God. That's something technical, guys. So what I was saying, guys, here today, we are studying the Gospel according to Spiritism. We are studying chapter 10, item 16, where the spirits, they are helping us to understand a little bit more about indulgence. Yes, dears, I thought it was my phone. I thought it was maybe the internet, but I realized that was my computer. Sorry, guys. Luckily, I realized that now. We still have some time to go. So, guys, once we talk about indulgence, sometimes the spirit, they say to us that we mix up the meaning of this word. Because sometimes we think that indulgence is to be only nice to the others. But here the spirits are saying to us that indulgence perhaps is once we see someone else's mistakes, once we see someone else's problems and actions, what they are doing, instead of going there and point our fingers to them only for the intention of pointing out what they are doing, we can even go there and say something to them once they are doing something, but in the best way possible. But whenever we point out our finger, doesn't matter way, but of course, in the best way possible, kindly and nice would be the perfect scenario. But once we go and say, let's say, I'm going to go to Dirce and say, Dirce, you do this, you do that, you do this. Whenever we do this, the best way to doing this is to bring that person to the corner and say, hey, maybe what you are doing is not really the best thing. Especially if that person is maybe disturbing someone else's life. That's what the spirits are saying to us, that sometimes we do things that only harm us. In this case, sometimes we can be quiet, or we should be quiet if we don't know how to approach that person in the best way possible. That's why the spirits, they are saying to us here that the real indulgence is not to be pointing fingers, but whenever we go and bring someone else's actions to the table, whenever we say to someone else, you are doing this or you are doing that, we have to be kind. And instead of being harsh with that person, we should be charitable. We should understand, yes, maybe that person is making a mistake here right now, maybe I'm not, but maybe in the past I was making the same mistake, or I will make that mistake in the future. That's why one of the parts of the gospel which Jesus always tries to teach us, it's one of the biggest lessons that he brings in the gospels, in the four canonical gospels, and also in the gospel according to Spiritism, is that we should not judge the others. But then Paul of Tarsus, he says in one of his letters that be hard with yourselves, but not with the others. So if we must be hard with someone, we must be with ourselves. It does not mean that if we see someone doing harm to the others, that we should be quiet. Of course not. Because according to the spirits, if we do this, it will go against the progress law. So yes, if people, they are causing damage to the others, we should go there and say, but we should say it nicely. Because sometimes, like Humberto Campos says in one of the parts that he psychographed through Chico Xavier, that sometimes we use the truth as a weapon, like Peter used to do that. Peter used to be a very harsh man. So he thought that because he was being honest, he could say whatever he wanted to say. And the spirits are saying to us, that's not indulgence. What Peter did sometimes and Paul did sometimes also, it was not indulgence, but they were learning like we are learning. Of course, now they learned their lesson. We are still learning our lesson. But the spirits are saying to us, be kind with the others, even when you must point your fingers to them, when you have to correct them. even though we must be nice with the others, and we should only be harsh with ourselves. So let's do let's say here that if I'm gonna point something to Stevan, to whoever I want to point their mistakes, instead of going there and start shouting, I should be kind with them. And whenever I have to reproach something, I should only be harsh with myself. So instead of looking at them, let me look at me. What am I doing? What am I doing in my private life that I'm not really paying attention? I'm not really trying to fight to improve, but all the time I'm seeing what the others are doing and I'm pointing their fingers, because we don't see what we do and only what the others they do. That's the most common thing, and that's what the spirits are saying to us. Be careful. That's not indulgence. Okay, so that's why he says here, whenever you criticize, what conclusion should one derive from your words? That you who reproach do not practice what you condemn, and that you are more worth than the good part. So they are saying to us, sometimes we criticize the others, but what should we understand from our words? What should we conclude from what we are saying? That we think that we are better than the others. Because once we are criticizing, once we are reproaching the others, we put ourselves in a position that we think we are better than them, we know more than them, and we have the right, the moral right to say, you are wrong, I am right. But if you really open our mind and our hearts, we will understand that perhaps what that person does, we do that also. But in that moment, we are not doing. So we think we have the power to say, you are the wrong one and I'm the correct. Because at that moment, you are not doing. But you may do that tomorrow, or you may do that after. Sorry, guys, for the sound here behind. If you guys have any questions, guys, please let us know. As we said here today, we are studying the Gospel according to Spiritism from item 16. Okay? And here on item 17, the spirit of Jean, a bishop of Bordeaux, he says to us here, forgive our offenses as we forgive those who are offended us. Remember, guys, that's a part in the prayer of the Holy Father. That is a part which Jesus has taught to us. But once we understand the meaning of these words, forgive our offenses as we forgive those who have offended us, we will understand. Once we understand the value of these words, we will really, in fact, understand that we are no better position than anyone else. That's why we shouldn't judge others. That's why most of the time, once we think, oh, I should forgive someone else, because you think you are in this position, perhaps think twice, because most of the time we are the ones who need forgiveness for the actions that we do. Or is there anyone here who does not do any wrong action in their daily life? Is there anyone here who sometimes does not use their knowledge and words to hurt someone, even without intention, even without realizing they are doing this? So many people, they think, as we said before, I'm only saying the truth. If the truth hurts, that's not my problem. But once we think about this part here of the Holy Father, the prayer, forgive our offenses as we forgive those who have offended us. So in order to God to forgive us, we must do our parts. If we want to receive forgiveness, we must give forgiveness. That's one of the main teachings which the spirits are bringing here to us in this part of the gospel. That's why he's talking about indulgence. Okay? And here, sometimes we think that once I'm going to be here, Bruce Ness said to us, may I paraphrase the Christian Bible? Before taking the speck out of your neighbor's eyes, take the beam out of their eye. Thank you, Bruce. That's what I was trying to remember. I was trying to translate it here. Yes, Bruce is correct. That's what this chapter is about. It's a matter of, instead of seeing what the others they do, let's see what I do. Because in the end of the day, guys, believe me, what will make us to progress as a spirits and as a as a person in society, why we are here alive, is not how much we judge the others, how much knowledge we have, how much we can use, how well we can use our words to judge the others. Is the good that we do. And when I mean good, I don't mean only to go on the streets and practice charity, but it is in a time of conflict, that perhaps you are at work, or you are in the traffic, or you are maybe with your partner, you want to say something and you hold that. Or even if you say, you try to use the best words possible, or maybe you try to say it in another time, because you know that time, because people, they are a bit fed up, doesn't matter what you do, that's not gonna really help. So here we have to understand that it's the only way that we're going to be progressing, is to being able to forgive the others, to be kind with the others. And at the same time, instead of putting all our energies to judge the others, we put that energy to improve ourselves. That's what the spirits are trying to say here to us, And here, as he says here in the item 18, dear friends, be strict with yourselves, but be indulgent toward the weakness of the others, doing so for the practice of the holy charity of a few. So he's saying to us that once we do this, once we are restricted with ourselves and indulgence of the others, we are doing something that only a few people they do. And that's why it's so difficult, guys. I'm not saying here that I do that all the time. I'm not saying here that all spiritists, they do that. No, we don't. No, I don't. But once we have this knowledge with the gospel according to Spiritism bring to us, at least we have some clarity, we have some knowledge, and we can try to reflect ourselves in what we do and what we say. That's why reflection, according to philosophy, it's a great tool for us to improve ourselves. That's why we should try to reflect on what we are doing and what we are saying. Otherwise, we start to be in the automatic mode. We keep repeating things, we don't stop. And then we're going to be judging, we're going to be pointing fingers, we're going to be thinking that we have the right to say whatever we want to the others, we're going to be thinking that we are better than the others, and we're going to find ourselves in a position of superiority. That's why we must reflect in these words that we're trying here to bring. That's why I encourage everyone to read the Gospel according to Spiritism, this part here, chapter 10. I encourage you guys to study, not only read the entire chapter, but tonight we are studying from item 16 to try to understand what really indulgence means. Not according to me, but according to Spiritism. I'm bringing my ideas here using the Gospel according to Spiritism to be able to explain a little bit. Because sometimes when someone explains to us, we grasp things a bit better. But let's see here what the spirits they say. They keep going. They say here in item 18, paragraph 2, all of you have a burden that is heavier or less heavy, but which you must get rid of in order to scale to the peak of the mountain of progress. Then, why are you so sin towards the neighbor, yet so blind regarding yourselves? Look how beautiful it is. He's saying to us that we all have something to improve. We say this, some people, they said that in the Spiritist movement, that we all have an Achilles heel. We have some weak spot in our personality, in our spirit, that we must improve. But if we all have this burden to carry, if we all have to improve something which is really important in our existence, as he say here, why are we wasting time seeing what the others they do? Why are we wasting our energy and our resources to be judging the others? If we know we have to improve something, maybe some person has to improve their their vengeance. Some people, they have to learn how to forgive more. Some people, they have to learn how to be more charitable. Some people, they have to learn how to live less, not to live less a material life, but to don't really be a slave of material things. We all need material things here for sure. We need house, we need money, we need mobile phone nowadays. But sometimes someone perhaps need to leave these things off and to understand more their spirituality. That's what we are trying to say here. That's why they say here to us, when you stop seeing the speck in your brother's eyes, sister, while noticing the plank that blinds you and causes you to grow and don't fall. When you're going to be start doing this, when you're going to be stopping, as here Bruce said, when you're going to be stopping to be seeing what the others are doing and only seeing what we are doing. But once we start to be seeing these things, guys, the spirits, they say to us here, believe in the spirit, friends, believe, my friends, believe in the spirits, they are saying to us. Because once we start to realize, once we start to do this movement in order to pay more attention to our own actions, we start to, our vibration starts to get tuned in the air, in the universe. So we start to attract good spirits towards us. So he's basically saying here to us what André Luiz says, that whenever our vibration is in only judging the others and only paying attention to what the others do, we're not going to be able to really vibrate with good spirits. So if you want to be, some people, they come to me and say, Wanderley, but I'm no medium. I cannot see anything. I cannot hear anything. I don't even dream with anyone, with anything. But once you start to talk to that person, you start to see that that person is not really bringing its energy, his or her energy towards the spirituality. It's only bring to materiality, to sex, to all things that can damage our spirits. Alcohol, drugs. Again, we are not here to judge, but we are talking about the excessivity of using this substance I'm mentioning here. But or the person is only caring about work or about money or about become someone more and more rich in society. Once we are tuned into these things only, as I said, we all need to have these experiences here, okay? We all need to experience social life. We all need to experience love, sex. If you guys want to drink a little bit, there is no problem. We do not judge here. But what the Spiritism is saying to us here, and that Luis says to us, that once we, everything which I mentioned here, we go excessively on these things, it's really hard for us to vibrate with good spirits. That's why the spirits are saying to us, if you really want us to be in your life, to be in your presence, believe in us. But to believe in us is not only enough. We have to vibrate in their vibration. That's why sometimes when people, they come to me and say, Wanderley, but how can I start, feeling good vibrations for the spirits? Start doing the gospel at home. Start trying to listen to a good music, to a good, try to read to a good book. All these things, instead of saying bad words, use good words. As we said right at the beginning, instead of pointing fingers to the other, don't do it. Hold yourself. Even if you can't, bite your finger. If you can't, bite. Be hard with yourself, but don't say. Even if you are thinking on what that person is doing, André Luiz explains to us that to be thinking about something bad and not acting, and not practicing that bad thing that we are thinking, for us in the level that we are, is a progress already. That's why sometimes we say, Wanderley, but I'm thinking that, like Jesus said in the Bible, that for those who commit adultery in mind, for those who are looking at the other's woman, they are committing adultery in their mind already. Of course, that's a metaphor, but let's think like this. What Jesus said is the perfect. But we, in this stage that we are, if we are just thinking and not acting anymore, for us, it's a progress. That's why the spirits, they say, you want to feel our presence? Do your part. We are not puppets here. We have to do, our side. Have to do our practice. We have to do our part also in this connection. as he says here, Bruce says to us, and I agree, a quote from Dalai Lama, everyone is your teacher. Yes, Peter, I agree with you. Everyone is our teacher. And we are a teacher of everyone also. We all can learn something with each other. But what we were saying here also, Bruce, sorry, not Peter. Sorry, I was thinking about Peter, the apostle, guys. Sorry, Bruce. So what we are trying, I agree with Bruce here, but like Peter, he used to use his knowledge to hurt the others because he heard from Jesus' mouth the words that we see in the Bible nowadays. He was there. So he used to go there and judge the others, point fingers to the other. So yes, everyone is your teacher. We are a teacher of everyone. But the way that we try to pass this knowledge is what matters here. And here, the Spirit says to us here in the end of item 18. Here, what is it? Okay. Charity towards one neighbor and towards oneself. In other words, charity towards all and love for God above all things. Because of the love of God, God's love summarizes all duties. It's impossible to love God truly without practicing charity, without which He made into the law for everyone, for all creatures. So sometimes we say in Spiritism, or we say in Christianity, or in any other philosophy, that we love God. But then we have a problem, a big problem. How can I love something? Because God, according to the Spirit's book, is not someone. That's why Kardec asked, what is God, not who is God? So Kardec understood in the Spirit's book that God is not a person, okay? So how can we love this thing called God, this energy? How can we say that, oh, I love God above all things, like we have in the Jewish and Christian traditions, if you're not able to even to have some kindness towards the person across the road? Or even sometimes we are not even able to have kindness towards someone in our family who lives with us. But we go to the Spirit Center on Sunday, or go to the church, to the mosque, to the terreiro. We go anywhere we want to go, and we say, oh, I love God above all things. But we are not able to have tolerance to someone beside us. That's why the spirits, they say to us that the real charity here, the teachings of that the spirit of Dufetre, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing properly, Bishop of Nevers in France, sorry for my French, guys, he's saying to us that the teachings of God summarize in charity, but charity is to be nice to the others. So how come can we be nice to the others? How come can we say that we love God if you're not able to be nice to the others? So we have a problem here. That's why instead of go and say, oh, I love God, try to have empathy to the others around us. That's what they are trying to say to us. We should have charity. We should practice charity towards the others, towards those ones who are surrounding us, not, only once we're in the church. Some people, they give money to the church. There is no problem. We're not criticizing this here. Or some people, they do whatever they can do in the Spirit Center on Sunday or whatever day they go. But out of there, they don't care about anyone who they see in the streets. And according to the spirits here, that's not my words, that's not really charity. And that does not really fails into God's love. Because God's love, it's love to everyone else. Sorry, guys. So if you guys have any questions, guys, please feel free. Again, thanks for everyone to be here with us tonight. And we're here in this part of the gospel here now on chapter 10. We have some questions which the spirits, they bring to us, some questions which Kardec asks the spirits. And Kardec asks in item 19, since no one is perfect, does it follow that one has the right to reprehend neighbors? So we are not perfect. Okay, no one here is perfect. We agree on that, I believe. I hope so. But we have the right if we are not perfect, to go and reprehend the others, and the spirits are clear, guys. Of course not. Since each other, since each one of us must labor for the progress of all, especially those who are tutelage and has been entrusted to you. So he's saying to us that, of course, we don't have this right, since we have to work to the progress of each one of us. So we have to work together. It's not only for myself first, of course, but once I'm helping myself, automatically I'm helping the others, because the others, they're going to see my action. That's why Jesus said to us in the gospel that we must be like a light, like a lamp. Allow your light to shine. Once we allow our light to shine, once we start correcting ourselves, people, they're going to see us. They're going to see, wow, Jersey, she's doing that. Wow, I'm going to follow her steps, perhaps. Maybe if I'm not able to follow yet, I'm going to ask her, Jersey, how can I do it? Not because of her words, but because of her actions. So here, and also, especially when we have people who are entrusted to us here, in the case of parenthood, for example, they are saying to us, once you have kids, we have to pay attention on what we say to them. But it works also if you are someone who is a boss, you have a company perhaps, and you are responsible for the others surrounding you, you know. So if God entrusted you with that position, with that power, we can say it's a responsibility also. That's why here we shouldn't be really reprehend the others, you know. But if we do, we should be careful. And he says here, but you must reprehend others with moderation and a useful purpose. That's what we are saying. If you must reprehend someone, we should do that with moderation and a useful purpose, and not only for the sake of reprehending, to say, you see, you are wrong. No, that's not a really for useful purpose. And sometimes, as it says here, we have the pleasure of only degrading someone, and that's not really nice. Some of us, most of us, I'd say we do. Once we see someone doing something, we go there and say, you see what he's doing? He's doing that, or he is acting like this. And as we said right in the beginning, sometimes we do this also. But for us, we close our mouth, we be quiet, we're gonna be, only seeing what the others are doing, even if we are doing that all the time also. Why? Because I'm not in this spot. I rather to put someone else in this spot. You know what I mean, guys? And here we have also here in item 20, when the Spirit Kardec asks us, would it be reprehensible to observe others' imperfections when it does not result in a benefit for them, and when one does not divulge them? So he's saying to us basically, is that okay if we try to correct someone else's imperfection, if it's going to be good for them, and once we are not really showing to everyone else what that person is doing? And he says here, everything depends on the intents. Of course, one is forbidden from seeing evil where there is evil. So we cannot we cannot say to ourselves that we're not seeing what is wrong there, because it's wrong. That's why he says here, one cannot forbid to be seeing evil if there is evil there. So if there is something wrong, sometimes we shouldn't be quiet. But once we go there and say to that person, as we said before, we must be kind. If we can, we bring that person to the corner and say, hey, what you are doing is not really nice. Maybe it's just a big maybe. Maybe you should try to do this way here. Or do you need some help? That's what we do a lot in companies. Instead of pointing fingers, before it used to be different. But nowadays, in a company, if someone is doing something bad, you go there to that person and say, hey, Wanderley, do you need some help? Because what you are doing is not really what we are looking for. Is there any way we can help you? But once you are doing this, maybe the other one is going to listen to you, because you are bringing to them some suggestions. You are being kind and nice with them. But my question is, why do we do that at work and why don't we do it in our personal lives? or even at home sometimes. Instead of going using this ease approach, this non-violent approach, we go there and we start to go and we start to, really using the knowledge that we have as a sword, as a weapon. And that's what the Spirit are saying to us here, that we shouldn't do it. We have Stevan here, guys.
Hello.
My friends.
I'm late.
I cannot hear you.
No.
I had a sound problem before also. I hope you don't have this problem. Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep, all good.
Okay.
Okay, so Stevan, as we were saying before, we are studying here. We were talking right now about item 20. Would you like to add anything from the top of this or from this part that we were?
No, keep going because I need to. No. I would say, let me check here. The only thing I want to add in relation to the item 20 is, yes, we need to let people aware what's going on about, let's say, the imperfections, but never lose to be kind. Jesus was the one who always point the fingers to the wrong, what they are doing wrong, but he never make the person downgraded. And what we used to do here when we talking about someone imperfection, we try to put them down. And at the end, we say, oh, I'm just saying this because of your own benefit. So, yes, we are doing this for their own benefit, but you needed to make that way to say, in a way of kindness, in a way of love. Perhaps you don't need to say anything to anyone, but you need to act in the way you want that person is doing. Like parents, they don't like something with the child they want, but the problem is because the child is just copying what the parents are doing. So instead of blame the parent, the child, why the parents don't talk to each other and try to change their behavior to mirror what they want to do with the behavior the children must have. So this is what we need to do. This is what we want to do, but we don't do it. But we don't do it. No, I have to laugh here. Your screen is out and a Samantha picture happening here. I don't hear you. I don't listen. You're in the mute.
I realized that. I don't have no idea why Samantha's picture is here. I'm not Samantha.
I saw it, but it's Samantha. It's Wanderley or Samantha here.
Oops, here, but Samantha again. I have no idea.
Yeah, but that's the main point here. Yes, we need to tell the imperfections, because otherwise we will concur with the wrongdoings. But we never forget to be kind and to put love towards everything. Perhaps not to use words, but to use example. That's the summary for me.
No, I agree, Stevan. That's why we were trying to say here so many times that's why we should be careful with our words, because sometimes we have all the good intentions to go there and say, hey, Steven, you are doing this. But the way which I say, I'm not really doing any good to you. I'm just harming you. Haroldo Dutra says in one of his speeches that there was an elephant who wants to give a rose to his wife elephant, and they are in the garden, and the garden has so many beautiful flowers. So he goes there to get that one flower. He walks, he steps in the entire garden. He gets the flower to give to his elephant wife. But once he looks back to get one flower, he destroyed everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes we are like this. We are like these big elephants. We have all the power. We have all the weight. We go there. We destroy someone. We really damage someone else's confidence with our words, because we say to ourselves, I must say the truth. You must hear the truth. And let's go easy on that, because today we are saying to them the truth. But how about if someone else comes to me saying the truth about me? Will I accept it? Will I say, oh, no, he is correct. Oh, so nice you are. Thank you for destroying my day, and say how bad I am. No. In
Or to put
general,
me down,
not,
like you can even put someone down and they kill himself.
that's it. Yes, we see these cases. We see Humberto de Campos saying this, that so many cases in the 19th, the 17th, 18th century, where people, they used to go there and they used to say so many things to them, and that maybe young person wasn't really with their psychological quite strong, and that person committed suicide. And once it happens, because you said such and such things to that person, you become responsible. Even if you once you go to the spiritual world, you say, but I never did anything. But what you said had so much power on that life's person that, as Stevan said, maybe that person committed suicide. Or maybe that person didn't commit suicide, but maybe that person, once that person goes home, because let's say a situation where you cross someone on the street with your car, you go there, even if that person was wrong, you say everything you want to say because that person was wrong. In a way, you have the right. Okay, that's why I'm doing like this with commas, and that person accepts. But once that person goes home, that person fights with their partner, and then you are in a situation where you create a huge impact in that person's life because of something which happened in the traffic, even if you have the right to say that person was wrong. So then you cannot say, but I didn't do anything. I have no relation with their fight at home. You do, because your words were so powerful that took that person um, from its level of stability. That person was unbalanced because of your words. That's why our words have so much power. That's why they say here, what is it? Application. So we should, in some here, we should weight our words. We should really pay attention to what we do, to what we say, because as we are saying here, everything that we say to someone, we have the right to try to help someone, especially if that person is my child. I have the right, I must go there and try to teach something to my child. However, even if as a parent, you have to be careful, because so many parents, Stevan, he's a parent, he has two wonderful daughters. Imagine if Stevan goes now to Teteia or to Leah and say, you shouldn't do this in a really bad way, even if he wants to only to correct them and to help them. But maybe in the way that he says, he's going to be traumatizing them. Then in 10 and 15 years time, they are looking for psychologists for help because their father, said something really nasty to them. Do you know what I mean, guys? So sometimes as a parent, we say something to our children, we don't realize we are causing more harm to them than good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, the words they have, that's why everyone says the words, they have power, and they do. Yeah. Really strong power.
This make me to remind a story from Pablo Picasso, because when Pablo was a child and he showed his painting to his dad put him down, oh, this is just scratches, don't do it, oh, you are nothing, all these things, And his mom did the opposite. His mom saying, "Oh, this is wonderful. You are master. You are very good. You are this." And she always incentivized him to keep drawing, keep drawing, keep drawing, keep drawing. And then he became Pablo Picasso. Okay. So we saw one parent putting down, another one putting up. But the problem is his mom inflated his ego so badly because he had several marriages, and one of the marriages is saying when he was that wife was leaving him, and they are fighting, and he screamed on the street, "Nobody leaves Pablo Picasso." So we that's why what Wanderley said, we need a balance. Inflate too much, cause damage. Do not help, do not criticize, cause damage as well. So that we need to be in between.
That's why the example, yeah, Stevan. Once we use the example, like St. Francis used to say, whenever, if you really must, and only in the last case possible, you should use words to explain the gospel. Because in fact, we should use examples only. So we should only verbalize things once there is no way the example can show to that person. But he says to us, the example is the way to teach you to teach someone. And most of us, we don't want to do it. Because to give a good example is really hard. Oh yeah.
It's easy to point the finger, say, "Hey,
Yes.
Wanderley."
No, Steven, to come here in a spirit in a live and to say good things and to be reading, that's really easy. But how can I give my example outside of this 1 hour that we have here every Tuesday and every Thursday on Sundays? How can someone see myself walking around Dublin and say, Wanderley, okay, he's not perfect like anyone else. He has a lot of problems, in fact, but at least he's trying through his examples. How can I act instead of someone looking at me and say, he's trying at least, or he's just looking at me, he just does that on the lives or on Sundays, Sometimes we do that, guys. We go to our friends, we go to someone, we say good words, nice words, Chico Xavier, Kardec, and blah, 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 Jesus. But what we do in our daily lives, nothing even close to his teachings. Then we have a problem because perhaps Jersey, Bruce, the guys from America, we have Patrocinio, everyone, whoever who's listening to us, Nate, everyone here, they are putting in practice what we do. But we are not. We are just using words, just saying words. And that's the danger for everyone who works in any religious or philosophical movement. When you are a good talker, but you don't put anything in practice. That's where the danger lives. That's why the spirits, they call us not to say good words, but they call us to actions, to act. If no one has never heard about Kardec or has never heard about Jesus or any good spirit who came to earth, but they are practicing good, guys, they are here. And if we know the entire Spirit's book or the entire Bible, we are here. Because they have the sabedoria, Steven, the wisdom, the knowledge and the wisdom, not to say words, but to live what they believe, even without knowing what they believe. But some people like us, we need the knowledge, we need the book, but we don't put in practice. So that's a quick reminder that we should say to each one of us here, Steven. But go ahead, sorry.
No, that's it. That's it. We needed to, as you said, we needed to act like some Francis said. No, we needed to act instead of say something. You want to improve someone? Improve yourself. Be an example.
Very true.
Yeah. So we finished the chapter 10 with that.
We did, yeah.
Great.
So
Great,
next
great.
week we're going to start chapter 11, loving one's neighbors as oneself. We're gonna be starting that next week.
Yeah, and then guys, if you have any question, anything, like we still have like 3 minutes here, let us know.
And for those who doesn't know, guys, we do these lives every Tuesday and every Thursday at 7:15 Dublin time, and also 11:15 Dublin time on Sundays. Okay,
Yeah.
Tuesdays. Sorry, still go ahead.
No, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's correct. And also, this is new. Probably in 2 or 3 weeks, we will open our healing meeting to everyone who wants to join, and we will have a kind of virtual healing. Okay, so we are just running on some tests here, but probably in 2 or 3 weeks we will have it done. And after this presentation here, the live today, we will have our healing group waiting for you with open arms, and we will have kind of virtual healing. Meanwhile, we cannot do anything face to face, but I will let you know. Okay, and that's it.
And guys, please don't forget our studies on Wednesday at 8 p.m. with Nadia and Tanya. If you guys want to participate in the studies, they are open, but you must send an email to us at spiritismisland@gmail.com. Then we're gonna be sent to you guys the Zoom link for you guys to participate. It's quite nice because there are people they read the Spirit's book, they study the Spirit's book, the questions, and they talk about each question. So it's a really good time if you guys want to participate a bit more, because sometimes the live is just one or two people really talking. So if you guys want to participate a bit further, please let us know, send your emails to us. And tomorrow, Stevan, we have also the
Spiritual Light Show. Yes.
Spirit Night. Yeah.
And today, after we finish here 8:30, that is the buzz mediumship talk. So stay tuned. Just 15 minutes after we finish, they will start. So don't miss this as well.
I think that's it, Stevan. Would you like to add
Okay.
anything else?
That's it from me as well. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wanderley, for covering my back today.
You're welcome.
And thank you, guys. Thank you, Dears. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Patrocinio. Thank you, Lilian, down here. Thank you very much. I'll see you all next week.
Would you like to do the final prayer, Stevan, or should I do it?
Now I do it.
Okay.
So let's come down again. Connect our thoughts with superior spirits, with our mentors. Ask them to enlighten ourselves, our family, our house, our friends, and together pray for those we don't know, those who are suffering in the hospitals, at home, on the streets. Nursing homes, orphanages, prisons. Let's pray for them and ask for the good spirits. Support them in whatever they are passing by, in whatever they need to learn. They need to redeem themselves, or they need to believe in themselves. May this prayer awake them for a bright future. So be it. Amen. Okay, look. Thank you all. Enjoy your rest of day. And I'll see you on Thursday and tomorrow with the spiritual lights. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You guys.